Hello! So today we're going to be building a van for our sim, our founder for the Chromatic Legacy Challenge, Mara. I downloaded this really cool van CC pack. As you'll see, I'm kind of just like exploring some of my options here. It's got the front of the van to actually make it look like a vehicle. It's got wheels, it's got tail lights, things like that to really just kind of like sell the vibe. It took me a hot second to play around with it because I was just not understanding fully what I needed to be doing to get everything to line up together. But it's a really cute set. There's even like wall colors, etc., just to make it like look like a continuation of the van, because at first with the cabin of the van I was like, oh no, like what if I don't have a wallpaper? Don't worry, the creator of the pack had you covered and they had matching wallpapers to match up with the van. So that was super cute. It ends up being really small, but eventually I did playtest it. I think when I actually started playing, I had to move the shower and the toilet around. I'd like switch their places and just switch which way they were oriented, and then it like totally worked and was normal. But I believe the build pack is just called Van Life. If you want to look it up, I found it on their Tumblr. It's so cute, and I think we've all been wanting to build like cute little vans, etc., just for a long time. And I don't know, just build something cute and unique other than a house, especially if your sim is like Mara and just starting off her life, etc. So I would really recommend it. It's got some really cute stuff, and you just have to work on lining things up so that it's a little bit functional. You could also just make like a longer van too. Mine ended up making fairly short. Yeah, you can watch me. I just messed with this for a hot minute just to try and figure out what the heck I was doing wrong to make it look less van. And they even added a foundation. That, I will say, is like the most important part to add. Is there's like an invisible foundation to actually make it look like it's sitting above the ground, and that came in the CC pack. I know that before we've built vans where we've tried to like mimic as if it was floating, but this one actually has like a floating foundation, so you don't really have to worry about that. That was super nice. I had recorded the first episode of this by the time you're watching this, and I bring that up only because part of the Chromatic Legacy Challenge in Generation 1 is that you're supposed to own a vet clinic. That's part of your aspiration and goals in life, is to own a very successful vet clinic. And I thought with the release of businesses and hobbies that I would be able to do an at-home vet clinic. And huge oversight, I think, by the developers. You cannot own an at-home vet clinic with businesses and hobbies. I get that it's from a different pack, it's from cats and dogs. However, really big oversight to me that they didn't like backport playability between packs. And as we know, this is kind of an issue for this franchise. As much as I love playing it, and I don't want to obviously speak like negatively about it because I enjoy the game and I enjoy what they put out, that is a really big disappointment for me. So I actually didn't know that at the time of building this, so I ended up building a tiny little like vet clinic to start that eventually I was gonna like register as a small business, but in the actual gameplay I ended up deleting that and buying her a vet clinic. But the more I thought about it, I was like, you know, this challenge came out before businesses and hobbies. Maybe instead of vet clinic, we could have her run like an animal cafe or something with businesses and hobbies. And my main reason for that is personal. It's just that I don't like having a loading screen to like go to her business. I would rather have it at home. And that's just kind of like personal for me. Also, this top part does not stay. I was thinking of like maybe if she renovated it and had just like a little bit of extra space, but it actually ended up taking away more space because I would have had to put like a ladder or stairs to get up there, so it just wasn't realistic. And I just didn't like how it looked. So that ends up going away and it ends up just being a one-story RV. So by the time episode 2 rolls around, I think in the first episode, I even like in the recording was like, you know, tell me what you think, if I should have her run an at-home like cat cafe or something instead, or some kind of animal related small business. I think I'll explore that off camera, and just make that decision myself, because the challenge, the Chromatic Legacy Challenge, was updated I think most recently 3 years ago, so it's not 100% updated, but that's fine. Yeah, I just might make that call for myself. I was just really disappointed that there's not even like in the businesses and hobbies section, when you're choosing what is available to do at your place of business, there's not even like use veterinary items. Not that I could find. There's like play with dogs and interact with cats and things like that, but there's nothing to do with vet items. And even then, it would not be my sim running the vet, it would be other people coming in and using the veterinary items, is how businesses and hobbies works. If anybody knows a mod or a creator, or I don't know, somebody that does things for The Sims who has a mod to where in businesses and hobbies you can run an at-home vet clinic where your sim is the one doing the veterinary procedures, please let me know. I know businesses and hobbies is the newest pack at the time that I'm recording this, so maybe nobody has done that yet, but I would love if there was a mod to where I could run an at-home vet clinic. Maybe even if it's not from businesses and hobbies, it could be an older mod. I'm not sure. I'm willing to do whatever. I just would really like her to be able to run it from home. And if not, you know, maybe I'll make the decision to where just she runs a different kind of business from home. Again, the challenge is old, and again, we play the game for fun, so really it's just up to my indecision, and nobody even really watches me, so like it's up to me to make the decision for myself of what will be fun. This is where the great finagling began. Just trying to get everything to fit. The bathroom is honestly what gave me the most struggle. I honestly could have probably put it in the corner, but I kind of wanted it as like a separation between the living and sleeping area and the kitchen area. The kitchen also could have been smaller. I could have given her like one cabinet space and a fridge and no stove, that kind of thing, or like put a stove top. You know, there was options. This is what I ended up going with. The challenge also said she's not supposed to start with more than 20,000 simoleons, so I think I gave her like, I think she had 18 or something to begin with. Yeah, this is what I could come up with. This was like the great struggle of just lining everything up, because I wanted all the little details and I'm not very good at lining things up, so I had to really work on myself there and really try to extend myself. Don't expect anything inspiring or overly great from me. I'm just out here trying to build a little RV with a cute CC pack I found because I thought it fit the story. And I didn't even mention her like theme for Gen Run is bubblegum, so everything is very like pink, feminine, kind of cutesy, which I feel like sometimes I do with my Sims, but I feel like I don't lean into like the aesthetic enough sometimes. So I really tried to make everything as pink and as cute and bubblegum as possible in her house, and just very like feminine and comfy and kind of a low-key vibe. I almost put right here that is a piece of CC that I have, and it totally fits her vibe, but it is so ginormous, and in a regular sized sim house it would not be, but in this like a three tile wide, yeah, no, not gonna happen. It was not wise. I plead and I beg, if anybody has a mod for that like veterinary thing. I know that there's like the veterinary career mod that somebody has made where you go to work and you start out as like a low-level veterinary assistant, but you don't own the business. She's supposed to, in the challenge, own the business and run the vet and make it successful. So I don't really know what I'm gonna do about that personally, but I will figure it out. Maybe we don't run a vet, maybe we run a pet training center or a cat cafe. I'm not smart enough for this. I'm really not gonna lie to you. I should not be in charge of making this decision, but I am, so here we go with that. I ended up making the bathroom way smaller than this, I think. I could not figure out the measurements, and by the time when I got to the first episode and recording it, things did change, because guess what, I forgot things like a dog bowl, which is kind of the whole point of the challenge, is that she loves animals. Yeah, forgot about feeding the dog, which is not Pet Care 101. I'm so sorry, Sam, that's the dog's name. But I'm kind of out of things to say, so go ahead and enjoy the rest of the video. Let me know if you have any info on a mod like that for me, and I'll see you actually in the first episode, which I recorded before this, so sorry, goodbye.